You know, I was gonna make a video giving a shout out to Noah Strang for this article from 2 days ago. Vancouver Canucks, Brock Boeser speaks out on adjusting to life without JT Miller. And I can still give props to Noah Strang. He does some really good work. Of course, this article is on dailyhive.com. But the way this is all phrased, Brock Boeser is adjusting to life post JT Miller. Oh, we gotta move on. Oh, there's no more JT here. I gotta find new ways to do what I need to do. It's so movie-like and dramatic that I just found it funny to go out there and talk about this. The article's great, by the way. As we said, Strang does a really good job, and Brock Boeser does get brutally honest about what it's like playing without JT Miller. But instead of talking about Boeser and Miller, let's talk about two of the other guys that are on the Vancouver Canucks, and that happen to be very good players, or they should be, at least. One of them has been good, the other has been faulting in other parts of the season. Today we are talking about Pettersson and Hughes, because we have ourselves a few interesting notes post-Canucks and Flames game that go out there and talk about both of these Canucks players. This show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there, check out that first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel in the process. Last night, the Vancouver Canucks defeated the Calgary Flames 4-3 in a shootout, and Elias Pettersson was freaking awesome. He had a goal and an assist. The goal came late in the third period to tie the game up. He also had the shootout goal to set the tone for Vancouver in that extra frame. He also has had a bunch of goals over the past little while, too. Elias Pettersson has been looking so much better compared to anything we had seen out of him throughout any other part of this season. Maybe that's not saying much. I get it. Pettersson was playing at such a high caliber of play during previous years of his NHL career. 102 points, even 89 points last year. He faltered in the second half of the season quite heavily. This season, though, PD is on pace for 50 points in 76 games played. Definitely the worst season of his career, point production-wise, statistically speaking. Even the 21-point year he did in the 26 games. So this season is a huge step down. Pettersson, however, has been very accountable as of late. Even though earlier on in the season he would be a little bit snarky at the media. He would say things that would kind of be regretful. We made YouTube videos on this channel just going over all the lowlights. Look, I'm not going to say that I quote-unquote regret any of the commentaries that we made, but maybe 2 weeks ago, it was a really big deal. Elias Pettersson had that comment that he made after the Utah game to Ian McIntyre that was not received well at all by the fans. But shortly after, Pettersson had his own media conference. He took accountability. He says that he will be the first guy to tell you he needs to be better. This, that, and the other thing. And now Pettersson is producing. He is up there with 3 goals in his last 4 games. And what was the number that everyone was saying? By the way, yeah, Elite Prospects is a little bit glitched. He does have 3 goals in his last 4 games. He had scored a goal against Calgary, against Montreal, and then against Minnesota. For some reason, it's showing here on EP that Pettersson did not get a goal in that game, which he did. Maybe it's kind of conflicting because of the Elias Pettersson name also being in the database. Who really knows? But here it is, Sportsnet stats. Pettersson has 3 goals in his last 4 games. He had just 3 goals in his previous 28 games before that. PD is shooting. PD is trusting his shot more. It's exactly what he said he needs to do. And a lot of Canucks fans are going out there and biting. Yes, this is exactly what we needed out of Elias Pettersson. It's so rare for a player of his talent level to simply forget how to play hockey. I don't know if he'll be fully back this year, but you have to think he gets back to his normal self by next year with a full season of off-season training. Who knows? Maybe that's going to be the case. But Elias Pettersson is in such a good spot that now, when we take a look at some of the extra commentary about this guy, and from Quinn Hughes too, it becomes a lot more exciting for Vancouver Canucks fans. Take a look at this, posted by the same Noah Strang on Blue Sky. Rick Tocchet said that when he shook Elias Pettersson's hand leaving the game, Petey told him, "I got more to go." I like that. He's got the even keel. He's going to put the work in. I got more to go. That's a guy who's confident right there. Can we say that about Elias Pettersson for the majority of the past 12 months? Has he been as confident as he's been in the past? Maybe not. But now it looks like he's starting to awaken a lot more. Now, a top reply goes out there and says, "I'm almost more pissed off that PD is playing well now than when he sucked for a year. What the heck has he been doing? Playing video games? Oh well, let's just hope that he becomes a consistent scorer the next 7 years. No more one-year holidays." We also had yourselves a tweet from Taj from earlier this morning. On the Fan Hockey Show, you had Elliotte Friedman go out there and speak out about this Elias Pettersson situation and where Quinn Hughes' thought process was during this whole season. Friedman said, "If you go back a couple of months when all this Miller and Pettersson stuff came to head, I think Quinn Hughes really believed in Pettersson. He believed that Pettersson still had a lot to give. I know he believed Pettersson could get there." And I'm not going to go out there and definitively say anything. So what you're saying is a vast majority of this fan base didn't even have the same belief as the team's captain? How laughable. Elliotte didn't say the next part, but it's not hard to read between any of the lines of which side Hughes chose. And look, we're not going to go out there and say that either. We're not going to definitively say, hey, Quinn Hughes was Team Petey. He didn't like JT Miller either. No, absolutely not. That's not how we're going to conclude this thought process. But it is good that Elliotte Friedman's saying that, yeah, when nobody else believed in Petey, I certainly didn't believe in Petey. I thought he was going to get traded. Most of y'all thought he was going to get traded too. When we didn't believe in Petey, the one guy who did was Quinn Hughes. So that does put a lot of emphasis on the bonds that these Canucks guys have, and it really does put the question like, hey, if you trade Pettersson, how is Quinn going to react to that? We already know Quinn's on the cusp of potentially going over to New Jersey and playing with his brothers in a few years, but for now, with what the team is capable of doing and what Pettersson is capable of doing, is there not reason to still fight for the season that we have? Furthermore, we had ourselves some commentary about Pettersson. Hughes is the GOAT tweeted this out, that Pettersson just had his biggest game of the season. He had a goal, tying the game late. He had an assist. He scored in the shootout. 76.36 expected goals for percentage. That is incredible. 64.29 Corsi for percentage. Also incredible. And then the other numbers here over as well. Daniel Wagner said that third period performance by Pettersson is why you keep feeding your stars minutes even when they haven't shown much early in the game. He made a difference for the Canucks tonight. Someone tell that to Rick Tocchet. Yeah, we had made the video yesterday about Rick Tocchet's lack of deploying Petey, despite the fact that Pettersson does frequently get the most ice time amongst forwards nowadays. It does kind of cement that argument even more, that your top players should be your top players and they should be relied upon as top players. You don't give more ice time to other guys if your top players aren't really doing much, if you are able to get the best out of them later on. Like, of course, if Pettersson got a whole bunch of ice time and he doesn't produce, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Pettersson, what are you doing? But he's been playing a lot better as of late, so this, of course, is a good sign. We also had some comments made by Quinn Hughes standing up for Elias Pettersson in the post-game interview. This was a really big quote that was going around. I like this article on Canucks Daily just because it has the longer quote. Yeah, I'm really happy for Pettersson, Hughes said. He took a lot of crap this year, and we obviously need him at this point in time with 17 games left, and he showed up today. Pettersson brought his A game, and we're going to continue to need him to do that, but obviously I'm proud of him. He's a competitive guy too. You don't get to the level he's gone to without having desire, and it's been a little hard run for him, but he's a great player and he's going to be just fine. You saw tonight. So Quinn Hughes, everybody, going out there and standing up for his super Swede post-game. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the way Elias Pettersson has been playing as of late? Is he truly back? And what are your thoughts on Quinn Hughes giving him those words of encouragement here? There's a lot to be excited for as a Vancouver Canucks fan into the last 17 games of the season. We'll see if the Canucks make the playoffs. We'll see if they fall out. If Elias Pettersson continues to go low-key Superman mode, who knows what's possible with this team? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.